This Monday night, we're sending you back to the podcast.
Oh, jeez. Hey.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Josh. That's Glenda. We're filming late. Let's try to keep this short, G. DC revealed a bunch of stuff this week. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with James Gunn laid out the plans for the DC universe. So he said, let's see, Shazam 2 leads into The Flash, which I said resets everything, confirmed, like I said. And then it goes to unrelated Blue Beetle. So I don't even, it's unclear if that's going to be in the new universe. Because then it goes into Aquaman 2. So I don't know how any of that works, if everything's reset. Which leads into the new Superman movie called Superman Legacy. And that's the first big movie which James Gunn is writing. And they haven't confirmed that he's directing yet. The producer said he hopes he's going to direct it as well. So Superman Legacy will be the first movie of the new universe. But we still got Blue Beetle, which I know you know who's starring now, right?
Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
No.
Cobra Kai, the Xylo, how you say his name? Xylo?
Oh, Sholo. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Really.
Yeah, the main
You were in his
actor.
house? You don't know how to pronounce his name? You were in his house?
Oh my god. Yeah, but I didn't talk to him.
He wasn't even there.
Oh, he was even there. Yeah, I think it's just his parents.
But yeah, which is pretty cool. Hispanic character, Hispanic.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Blue Beetle. It might be like an anti-hero. I don't even know. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Superman Legacy.
But so why is it they're able to keep the Batman? Because it's Elseworlds. Did you hear about that? They're doing a sequel to the Batman, which isn't going to be part of anything.
Probably because they already
Because
had
it's part of
they like the director that they have, and it made a shit ton of money.
So what you're saying is they didn't like Henry Cavill.
What I'm saying is they already just finished that movie. Henry Cavill hasn't made a super movie in 10 years. He did the Justice Leagues, but he hasn't been in this whole super movie in over a decade.
But he was announced 4 months ago to come back.
Not by James Gunn. So James Gunn said they were dicking him around.
Yeah, but he's willing to keep the Batman because it's Elseworlds.
People think he gets final say at everything. Like, I guarantee he doesn't get final say of everything.
Well, I actually
they also have the Joker sequel, which was in production already. Also, Todd Phillips, big time director as well. You don't just kick out these big time directors. Henry Cavill, he's an actor. Yeah, you're getting kicked out the curb. Sorry, he had nothing in production. No money invested in.
What do people go see more, a director or an actor? It's almost the same actually, because it's what's the marketability.
Well, as a studio, they need quality.
And Henry Cavill is huge right now. Like right now is the opportunity to use him. Right now he's crossed over to you. You finally like him.
He's the flagship character, so it's like saying, well, we'll just have two Spider-Mans right now. It's like, I'm sure they don't even like that. I'm sure Marvel hates that Miles Morales is out there, but at least he's in cartoon form, like they can only do so much because they don't actually own the rights to him. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be weird because they're gonna have the Batman movie, The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
The difference being that Batman movie is about him and his son as Robin, so it's a bit different. But yeah, they didn't want to. They might also had a contract. Matt for The Brave and the Bold. I'm not even sure.
Well, I'm sure Henry Cavill had a contract too. He literally said, "I will not be in Black Adam," as far as I know, my understanding, unless I get a Superman. I don't know if it was worded that way, but I'm sure that was a deal because he didn't show up in Shazam, but he showed up in Black Adam because due to that promise of like coming back as Superman. So it's just, I don't know. They did it really wrong.
He had verbal promises. He had nothing in the contract. I bet Matt Reeves has a contract.
He's so big. I'm surprised. Like, 'cause that's not something he would handle. That's actually something his agents handle, and I think that was a big mistake. Then.
Yeah, always get it in writing.
Yeah.
So Superman Legacy, not going to be an origin story, so y'all can stop crying. I don't need to know the origin story. Oh, we have Smallville. Like, that's not even the same thing, but okay. Like Smallville.
Yeah, I mean, that's an origin story. It's literally only an
What
origin
does it have to?
story.
What does it have to? Yeah, exactly. And what does it have to do with the movie? It's not a goddamn thing. It's a different universe. And
I don't
he's
know. I
like
mean, I'm not complaining
10
about any
years
of it.
as a
I'm just
kid.
complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just complaining that Henry Cavill's not. I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
I'm
man.
indifferent.
Maybe
I think I just want a good movie, and I'm sure it'll be good. I'm not
I don't
doubting
know what
the greatness of
Cavill
it.
did. I don't know if he hit on somebody's wife or what, but they do not want him there.
It's crazy, no?
It is.
I don't know. It's a
I
little
don't know.
weird. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you have, I think normally studios do also think monetarily. So if you know that like 10 million people and all these people are like really like hardcore Henry Cavill Superman fans, that's already an audience that's going to show up. In fact, those other films that were bad, like, or quote unquote bad, the Superman versus Batman, or what were they called? The other films he appeared in is
Justice
just like
League.
Justice League. I'm
Yeah.
sure that the reason it even made his money back is because Henry was in it, because Ben Affleck was in it. Well, you didn't go see
Not
it, so your mind wasn't
I
thinking
did
that,
see
but
it.
there were.
What do you mean? I did see it.
Oh, okay. But why did you
People
go
went to
see it?
see it. People went to see it because it's Batman versus Superman, and they fucked it up. It was so easy.
But
They fucked it up. They go for
you
Henry
really think
Cavill.
you think no one went for Henry
Like,
Cavill though? I'm sure people did.
no, dog, you kidding me?
You
No.
always think that your mindset means nobody did something.
No, they love him. They love him now, but at that time, everybody went to see Batman vs Superman. They don't care who Batman or Superman are. Don't give it. They all hated on
They did.
Ben
I would
Affleck.
look into it.
They all hated Ben Affleck when he was casted. Like, dude, Ben Affleck's gonna kill it. He looks badass. He's gonna make up
Yeah,
for
that's
Daredevil.
fine. That's true. But people
Yeah,
did love Henry
and they all
Cavill.
hated Henry Cavill when they casted him for Superman. Oh, why does he look
Yeah.
Mexican? Blah blah blah. I was like, I don't know who he is. I don't care. We'll see how good the movie is. It wasn't good. People were mixed. People were mixed. Half the people loved it. Other half hated it. It wasn't it's not a beloved movie. It's half beloved, half hated. So no, everybody did not go.
I
Everyone
know,
went
but
because
you're speaking
Batman
to things as if
versus
they're
Superman.
facts.
It's
That's
Batman
your
versus
opinion.
Superman. You could put any idiots in that movie and they're gonna go see it. Batman versus Superman,
For
and they fucked it
sure.
up.
But I do think that I'm sure Henry also brought people back. It doesn't matter that people didn't want him as Superman in the first movie. He did. It doesn't matter that you didn't like it. It's
It doesn't
obvious
matter
that
that you
people did.
did.
Exactly. I'm saying
Henry
people
Cavill,
did.
it
I'm
didn't
not
matter for
saying I
Henry
did.
Cavill. I'm just saying. You're saying they went for Henry Cavill. They absolutely did not go for Henry Cavill.
I'm sure people did what I keep saying. I'm sure that he brought in money for that film. I'm sure he did. If people didn't like Superman,
Not
yes,
enough.
I'm sure that they would still have seen Batman versus Superman, but I do think that people liked him for sure.
The only test would be if they had actually had a sequel, then we would know if he was really beloved or not. People love him
Well,
as a person. Yeah, he's a great guy.
but I mean, people have been dying for it, You're not a fan of his. You don't know the mentality that people have about it. I can
Yeah.
relate to all these people commenting on it because I was a fan. I did like his portrayal, and there are people that do. There are people I talk to that do. Is it the larger portion? I don't know, but there is a big voice right now that are of people that are like, wow, like this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, but the love for Henry Cavill only started like 2 or 3 years ago in Batman
In
versus
your
Superman.
opinion, because that's how you felt.
No, that's just what I seen online. And I never heard anybody talk about him until he got on The Witcher, and then people started liking him a lot more.
No,
I'm
they
just saying
actually
nobody
liked
talked
him.
about him.
Okay, I'm gonna correct you there. They started liking him in that Mission Impossible movie too when he did that. Like, he kind of was building his fan base too with these other projects, not
And
just The
that's
Witcher.
probably a bigger Mission Impossible, Witcher, other
Yes,
content that's why I
yes.
started liking him. Other content. It wasn't really Superman though. Some people love him as Superman, but
Yes, that's all I'm saying is that some
he
people
had to
did.
build up the
To say
resume.
no one did.
Okay, no, okay. Obviously, I'm generalizing, but you're acting like he was this big time. Oh my, like Robert Downey Jr. just beloved right off the bat. He was not. I'm sorry. Robert Downey Jr. beloved off the bat. He was not. I'm just
He
saying.
was for some people though,
Yeah,
and
some
and
people.
I think also it had to do with people not liking Zack Snyder's vision or portrayal of him of
Yeah,
Superman that hindered him. But I think that I don't think were you against his acting in any of the films you said
yeah.
you saw them,
I didn't like his acting. It was well, just I'm not blaming it on
but
him. The writing, like
exactly that's what I was gonna say.
his
So
the
I don't
way
know.
he.
Some of us
Yeah, I mean,
did like the darker stuff, so I saw.
there was no charm to his character at all. It's like doesn't feel like Superman
I
for
will
me.
give you an industry story about it. When I was working in development for a company, I can't say which one, they asked because they knew that I was a big nerd about this stuff. They were more into like art house stuff. And they asked me, like, will Henry Cavill have the same fate as some of the other Supermans? Because, I guess she felt like Christopher Reeve wasn't as successful actor. He was really just known for Superman, and Brandon Routh, same thing. Um, so, I feel validated because I told her I think that he won't have the same fate because he played a darker Superman. That takes a different type of acting. People see you differently, and he ended up doing Mission Impossible, Witcher. Like, now he's well known for different things. He's bringing people like you who wasn't a fan of the Zack Snyder vision and writing, but I feel like he proved himself. I feel like his journey is a little different because he did get to do a darker version. Whether it was good or bad doesn't matter. I think it allowed studios and directors to see
I
that
mean,
he had some range. No.
that comparison doesn't make sense. Like, there's cursed Brandon Ralph. Like, come on, Brandon Ralph had to fill in shoes for Christopher Reeves, and he was never going to be a star. He wasn't a star in that movie. It was like, come on.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
just telling you
it's
what an
just kind of
industry
weird to
person
say, oh,
told him.
is
This
it
was
going to
like
be
a
cursed?
boss.
Is it going to be the Superman curse? I mean, unless you're talking about going way back to like the TV
I didn't
show.
say this.
There's a movie about the original Superman. I think they're talking about he was cursed in the 1950s or something. Maybe that's what they
I don't
meant.
know
But
if she called it curse, but she just said
I mean, Brandon
like,
Ralph. I mean, he had to fill in for Christopher Reeves. And it was like that's really hard to do. And then Singer didn't deliver in that movie, so it's like it's not really fair to say, oh, these two guys. Everybody loves Christopher Reeves. Yeah, he only mostly known for
yeah,
Superman,
but
but
I think, but
but hold
I
on,
think the
real
issue,
quick. Christopher Reeves broke his back and didn't get to prove like, hey, I can do other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I agree with you. I just feel like because people see them in these like they're portrayed in sort of silly ways and it's not their fault. I never felt like that meant that they didn't have range, but that's what in a way in the same way that people that work in Star Wars are actors that complain that, oh, because I did this now I can't get work. She kind of felt like is he marketable, like will he get more movies, will, and I felt like yeah, because he wasn't portrayed in a silly way. I feel like that was his only benefit in working in something that was a Superman that was different. That, yeah, maybe it was like very divisive and people don't really like it, but I think it benefited him in that way. I felt because people weren't seeing a silly version of Super, which I love too. By the way, I'm not complaining about that version at all, and I'm not saying that that's my opinion. I'm just saying, like, this is how studio heads see it. Like, they just look at people as marketable, and so that is really fascinating to me that you know Henry is marketable and they're not. Well, like you said, what did he do? Sleep with somebody's life? I don't know. There's
If
money
you want to
there. There's
see,
money there now.
if you want to see a good Christopher Reeves movie that's not Superman, John Carpenter's remake Village of the Damned. Mark Hamill's in it.
Ooh,
Christy Alley, Christopher Reeves. He's the star.
ooh.
Really good in it. He can act, but it
I
wasn't a
believe
big
you.
hit.
I've seen
It's
him
a
in
horror
other
movie,
stuff
so
too.
yeah,
Yeah, he was even acting when he was in the chair. I think
yeah,
studios see things that way. It's unfortunate.
yeah.
But I'm actually going to see a John Carpenter movie today.
Which
The
one?
Precinct 13, or
Uh,
what's it called?
do you watch it or are you going to see it?
I'm going to go see it at the Alamo Draft House. Actually,
Oh,
I'm going to go
because
see it in the theaters.
it looks terrible, but people love it. There's this one scene
People
that's
love
fun.
it though. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
just curious
I mean
about
it
it.
might be good, but there's one scene that I posted. It's pretty wild. You're gonna fucking trip when you see it. But
Okay.
uh, let me list the movies that they announced.
Okay.
Movies: Superman Legacy, Batman: The Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing. I don't know if you remember Swamp Thing. We used to watch that when we were
Yeah, we
younger.
used to like that one. Yeah,
Yeah, it was good. The
it's good.
Authority. I have no idea what the Authority is. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Sounds interesting. And then those are the movies. TV shows: Waller, Lanterns, which actually could be really interesting. Lanterns, Green Lantern, he actually protects different planets in space and stuff, so it could be really interesting. Creature Commandos, no idea what that is. Booster Gold, which is kind of interesting, and Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost, I don't know what that is either. So those are the listings.
Interesting.
So you love
Anything you're excited
Superman.
about?
Uh, I think Lanterns could be really good. Just the fact that it takes place in space. They could do like maybe Star Wars things or different kind of stuff in that. And supposedly there's been different lanterns through the years. They're gonna
Okay.
show more than one, I think, at some point. That could be really interesting. Space opera kind of stuff, is entertaining.
Do
I
you
was
think
gonna
that
go ahead.
he's going to keep it in the same tone, in his tone, James Gunn, or do you think he'll allow for different tonalities?
I think he's too busy to say. I don't know. I mean, unless he gets some guidelines or something.
Yeah,
I think he's a director that likes people to be
have their own
creative.
voice.
Yeah, have the
That's
right
it.
voice to be. I don't think
Yeah,
he's gonna say it has to be,
because I
unless it's
think.
directly gonna go into one of his movies or something. But I don't know.
Do you think so? Because I think Kevin Feige does that, right? Or maybe it's Disney because it's Marvel. Do
Kevin
they? I feel like
Feige,
they.
they definitely keep like a certain tone, but it's
Oh,
also like you
yeah,
said, it's also Disney. So, but they've been
yeah.
branching out as far as
They've been
they
branching out.
can,
Yeah,
as far
yeah.
as they can push it. I mean, it's DC, so their models, like, it's darker, right? So I'm sure it'll be darker. So that's a good thing. It's HBO, right? Which I'm assuming these are HBO. I don't even know. Uh, I was going to ask you, you love Superman. What do you think about Supergirl?
I've
You know
never
anything
been
about?
a fan of Supergirl. Yes, I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's done right,
So as far as I
I don't even
know,
like the term Supergirl. Like, it's kind of like Spider Boy. It's not a fun term. Like, I feel like, I mean, it's maybe because I'm older too. I don't know. It's just like Wonder Woman. Like, I would prefer the term woman, I guess.
I think it's because she's younger, way younger.
I
So
don't know.
it's
It makes
girl.
sense why. It's
They
not
have a
as
Superboy,
fun.
don't they? Yeah, they do have a Superboy.
There's Superboy, but he's also not as fun. Like
He-
Super Spider Boy is not as
well,
fun.
the thing is, there is no Superwoman, right? She would be the Superwoman when she grows up, but her
Yeah,
story, I believe, her story is going to be she survives the Krypton Krypton explosion, the portion
yeah.
of the planet, and she has to grow up with these weird situations and whatnot.
Oh, so she'll still be on Krypton.
I believe, and for a while, yeah.
Because usually her story is that she comes to protect Clark because she's older than Clark.
So she's older than Clark, but she's
Yeah.
younger at the same
But
time.
she's younger, yeah. Um,
She didn't
I
age
think
because in
because she
space.
I think because she arrives later or something.
Yeah, she arrives
I mean,
later. Yeah.
at least in I can't remember in the movies, but I know in Smallville she's older than Clark. She just like arrives later or something. I don't know.
Oh, in Smallville, she was older. She looked older
She
too. She
was
was.
she was old. Yeah, she had
Hmm.
memories of him as a kid. Like she was the old,
So in
even though she,
Smallville, she was still called Supergirl, not Superwoman.
yeah, yeah,
That's dumb.
because she was still. I know. Yeah. I like that actress though. She was cool. I mean, she's probably my favorite Supergirl, I guess. And I like the show. The show was fun, but then and I loved Callista Flockhart. She was awesome, and then she left the show because they moved the show to Canada.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. That was all right. That TV show. I
and
saw a
it
little bit
actually
of it.
was solid. It was solid,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
like the actress.
I saw the
Kevin
Flash
Smith.
crossover.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, I just don't know if she's like one of my favorite characters, or she's never been bad either. So I don't know. I don't remember her in the films. I know she did
And
some
that one, it was more age appropriate. Superman was older, and she was younger.
younger. Yeah.
I think, yeah, at this point, they should probably make her Superwoman at this point.
Yeah,
How long is she
I
gonna be
think
a
so.
girl? But
Yeah, it'd be cooler. I don't know.
Superboy is popular. There's a certain the '90s one is popular. I don't know, but there's different ones. I think.
Well, I like the one
Uh,
from Titans. He's cool,
hmm.
which is
Okay, let's
canceled. Is that on your news thing, or do we already discuss that?
no.
Titans and
I haven't watched this, so I like Teen
Titans.
Titans.
Well, Titans and Doom Patrol are canceled, and those are very good DC shows, so that's disappointing. And I think James Gunn did say that wasn't his choice for sure, but that's sad because
That's what I'm
they were
saying.
very good.
Everybody's coming at him is like, you do know, like, yes, he's in charge, but I don't even think he's at Kevin Feige level where he gets everything he wants. There's still people.
Yeah,
Peter Safran seems to be in charge, and then they want him to guide the ship, but they're not necessarily saying you get to
giving
make
him
all
all the
the
power.
decisions. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it seems
yeah,
like. Like, it's not fair. He's here to guide the ship. He's not really Kevin Feige just yet, where you get to do whatever the fuck you want and blah blah blah. Like, you could do mostly what you want. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, that's my defense of Kathleen Kennedy, but anyway.
Just let that go because I know we're gonna be on your side on that one.
I know, but it's
Uh,
nice to be controversial.
let's let's move on. Amazon is reportedly planning a massive Marvel-style Tomb Raider universe that will
Yes.
span video games, TV, and film that nobody asked for. So, it's a big hit to say Amazon's gonna have a Tomb Raider TV series, which is cool, but And then when they added it's going to be a Marvel style universe, it's like it's just one character. What do you mean? There's no other
Yeah,
characters. She's the character. Like, what did they do? Like, no, I hate it
I
when they do
don't
that.
know. Yeah,
It's just like Sony's
I
still going
think
forward.
it's a yeah, it's a great opportunity for a really cool character, but I think I remember kind of liking Angelina Jolie's version. I never saw the new version, but I mean,
It
it
was
seems
okay.
like I don't know. What was wrong with the new one? Was it just like too much
It was
stuff
just
going
average.
on?
It was average. It was better made than the original movies. It was just
Yeah,
average. It was
yeah,
not nothing spectacular. It was an awful. It wasn't spectacular.
yeah.
But it's kind of
I
like
think
the
so.
it's kind of
No, go
like the
ahead.
Sony stuff where they have the villains getting their own movies. It's like why um what's his name? Something Taylor Johnson from Kick Ass. He's gonna be Craven the Hunter, a Spider-Man villain, but it's like Spider-Man's not in it, so like why are we doing it? Morbius already bombed.
Yeah,
It's like it doesn't need like I'll watch the TV show. That sounds good. She has a lot of
yeah,
there's a lot of story there. There's so many damn games. I don't you
yeah,
don't need Marvel style universe and movies and TV. Like it's you just need a TV show. That's good enough.
yeah,
It still
yeah.
hasn't
I
been
don't
done.
know.
It still hasn't been done right anyway. So hopefully they get it right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, James Gunn took an obscure comic, Guardians of the Galaxy, and made it this huge thing, and it wasn't really like this huge success as a comic, from my understanding. So, he might take this obscure project. I mean,
This this this
it's
this
not
is
obscure,
this is
but
like
something that hasn't, like you said, sorry,
oh
something
hold
that
on
hasn't been done right.
hold on. This is nothing to do with DC. This is a video game. This is Amazon video game. Nothing to do with James Gunn or DC.
Oh, oh, I thought you said he was doing that
No,
too.
no, 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 no. This is
Oh, okay.
Amazon's. This is Amazon's get.
Oh, oh,
Uh,
then I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
yeah.
Who knows? Who
They
knows?
should have. They should have went to HBO.
Yeah. Well, maybe they did, and HBO's like, no, this has been done.
Yeah, you're right. They don't
Yeah.
really have this creative voice like Last of Us has, where there's really who was a part who really created that. Especially
Yeah.
there's only two games. Tomb Raider has like fucking 20 games at this point. So
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I'll
all right,
give it a
so
watch.
I saw Megan. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
did you know that movie only cost $12 million to make?
Oh,
That's insane to
dang.
me. It didn't look like no $12 million movie. That's getting your
Nice.
money's worth. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Who's the director? Because that's awesome. Let me see. Because the face, they had to have spent the most on the face of the doll. Um,
Yeah, but I mean,
I
they
mean,
have special
they had
effects
other
in
stuff.
there.
Yeah, they did have special effects. Yeah.
I was shocked how Gerald Johnstone. I have no
Gerard
idea. Gerard
Johnstone.
Johnstone,
Um, let's see what else he's done.
the Jackie Brown Diaries,
All of this is that's writer though,
Housebound
director.
of Housebound almost 10
The
years
New Legends
ago.
of Monkey. He did TV. He did two TV series,
We did a movie in
and then
2014.
a movie in 2014. That's fascinating. I mean, it makes sense why he would have gotten 12 million then, because, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, if
But
you
yeah,
pitch
well, it was
something
fun.
really well, it was fun. I think it
The
was
only
good. It was fun.
the only thing I don't understand why did she kill the head guy of the company? What was that for? She had a reason to kill
Oh,
everybody except him.
yeah, because he made a threat, and also he can. I think he can like shut her down because I think he ran the company. Um, I
He
remember
was
there was
trying
some
to mass
reason.
produce her, so it was like I didn't
Yeah,
get that. And then frame the other guy for it too. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but she kind of killed him for no reason. But it did need more kills. And then
yeah.
the only other thing I didn't like was the when they first introduced the therapist, she's so out of pocket, so judgy for no fucking reason. It was so annoying. I was worried she's gonna be like the whole
It's been
movie.
a while since I saw it. What did she say again? I remember feeling the same way though.
She was just playing with her toys, and she was like, "Oh, this is how you play with it." Oh, we're not. No, don't show her. No, we're gonna roll it. You don't teach her how to play with the toy. First of all, they
Oh
weren't
yeah,
even toys, right? They were like
they're
let's say Chris has like Funko Pops, or you
right.
have Funko
True.
Pops, right?
I
In
thought
a
that was like
box,
okay.
and I was like, no, she was like judging, looking at her, judging her. No, you should let her open it up and play with it. Fuck your value. Like she could get another fucking toy. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, y'all
Yeah.
look at her judging. And then when she wants to show her how to play with it, oh no, don't do that. Don't show her how to play with it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what do you mean? You can't even show her. She was so out of pocket. I was like, oh my
I
god. And
know.
then she was
Well,
never even relevant to the movie. Really, she was there, but not really. Like, I was like,
yeah.
what was the point of that? I thought if you're gonna be like a bitch, to be the bitch the whole movie, like, and they get killed or something. But like, but then
I
after that, she's like nothing.
I know
We're
she
not gonna
doesn't
get-
even show up. Yeah. I feel
She's
like
there, but
I think the movie had a lot of commentary, which I know people are seeing it as just fun. But I think the commentary on that is that just like, especially with the therapist, is that there is a lot of comments on like, let your kids discover things and like, let things go. I think it's sort of talking towards, um, a lot of judgment of how to parent these days. There's so much like, um, you know, people seem to think they know what makes a good parent, and I don't. And I think it highlights that I forget her name, but she plays Marnie in Girls, that she really didn't know, what to do. It was interesting. I don't know, I because I explore a lot of like parenting stuff and what people talk about and comment on. It was just interesting to see that perspective and how, she felt like she couldn't parent because she didn't have a kid, but a lot of us feel the way she feels. We don't know what to do actually.
you know what I
So,
liked about it? It never got too cheesy, even though like the commercial,
yeah,
the ads were cheesy, but it never got too
yeah,
cheesy. And they're asking really like good questions about, well, what's the point of parenting and all this? With like, if Megan does everything, then what is
yeah,
your child learning? What are you even there for? Like, they were asking really deep questions.
exactly.
I was
Like
like,
my
oh, okay. It was
exactly.
like, yeah, it was really
Yeah,
well written. Like, it was really well
yeah. I
written.
thought so too. Like
I
exactly
would
what you're
have, I
saying.
would have, little bit more horror, a little bit more violence. And supposedly there is a cut that has a little bit more horror and violence. I want to see that cut because obviously they
Yeah,
wanted to be PG-13. Because like
yeah.
the old lady gets killed, I was kind of confused what was going on. Like she just drowned her with gas. I don't even know what happened to her. I didn't get it.
Oh, and actually that too. I was paying attention to the way he shot it. That was really cool. Yeah, I mean maybe it needed more blood or whatever, but when you just see the eyes, it was
Yeah, that
really
was
well
cool.
done too. That was
I'm
really
just saying
cool.
when she killed her, she was just spraying her. Like, how did she actually die? Like, what was she doing to her? Like, she drowned.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
mean,
know
I
what I'm
guess
saying?
like you said, to keep
Because
it
like
PG-13.
with the little boy, I saw clips of that before the movie, and I thought like, oh, he's just gonna get run over by a car. When she ripped his fucking ears out, I'm like,
I
holy
know,
shit!
I
Which
know.
that led, I wish that led to more too, because the cops are questioning her, like, are you saying I'm a suspect? No, 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 we're not saying you're a suspect, which is kind of funny. I'm not saying you're a
Yeah,
suspect. I would just say there was it was a murder investigation because of the ear, but then the cops are never follow up on that
but
either.
think about too what you were saying about parenting. What did our parents do back in the day?
Pull your ear.
Yeah, yeah. So I just think there was a lot of little nods to like parenting, the idea of
Yeah,
parenting.
yeah.
Like you said, I feel like it was deeper than, even though it was very light too, and it was solid and it was fun. There was a lot of deep things there. And actually, that whole common get hit by a car thing was shot well too. I was just like, it's hard to do that and make it fresh because we see that all the time. The parent died in the car accident and the kid survived, you
Oh, I
know?
know. No, that's the thing too, because we were a couple minutes late. So like when we cut,
Oh,
as soon as we walk in, they're arguing in the car. I was like, okay, when are they gonna get hit? The
yeah,
snowstorm, when they're gonna get hit? Boom, of course.
yeah.
I don't know what
But
happened before
I
that.
thought it was well done in that, we see it all the time and he made it fresh again, the parenting idea. And like they were arguing a very real conversation that like Chris and I have about screen time, and she's like, I think usually Chris is stricter and then I'm not as strict. And it's usually, we always see that it's depicted reverse in films. The mom is more strict, anyway. The argument felt real. It was so real, the way they were fighting about the
See, I
and
didn't know what they
it
were fighting about.
they were fighting about screen time because
Okay.
she was already bonding with like another, it was like a toy that she can
Yeah, the
control and
toy.
we could, yeah. And so the mom felt like it was too much. And so I just felt like all the commentary about the future and the future of parenting and how do you bring technology into that. There's so many benefits, but where do you draw the line? How do you create boundaries? And then and then they were, the snowstorm idea of the car accident was really cool. I mean, we see it all the time, but the way it was like their conversation
He
felt
must be a
very
parent.
cool.
He had a lot to say about parenting.
He did have a lot to say. I know. You're right. He probably is. It was really cool. It was really,
All
and
right.
then they brought a TikTok star. I don't know if you know about that. Did
In
you
the
know
movie?
that? You should clip that in. But they brought in a TikTok star to do that dance that she does in the end of the movie. You know, she does that. Everybody's doing
Oh,
it now.
I think the girl that does it is a dancer. Oh, well,
She's famous
isn't
on TikTok. She might be a dancer on
are
on
you
one of
saying
those
she
shows.
taught her how to do it or she did it?
She did it. Yeah.
You sure? Because
I mean,
it's a
that's what I
girl that
saw.
I saw that it's a young girl that plays Megan and she had to learn the
Yeah,
dance.
but
But
I think she's like one of those little. Oh, okay, maybe it was that then. I thought what I read was that she was an actual like TikTok young girl that does these dances. But maybe you're right.
she
Maybe
could
she
be.
taught this
I
young
mean,
girl.
she could be. I don't know if if it's a big
I think
TikTok
it
girl
was
or
because it just seemed like a very pro dance, And then the way she was singing pop songs for lullabies was
oh, that was funny because she made everything sound like Disney. She's making everything sound like Disney. It was kind of funny.
yeah, she sang Titanium by Sia.
It's kind of weird too because the there was no reason for her to do that dance. By the way, when she once again
I
that
know.
whole scene is so weird because
Yeah.
I don't get why she killed him, but then why did she do that dance either? I mean, it didn't take me out the movie though. It was fine. I mean,
It was funny. I
she
loved it.
slayed, right? Like they said, she slayed it. But it's like,
Yeah.
why? Why did she do that? Why did she just dance and then go dance a little more if you're gonna do it? Like it's like go all
Well,
freaky then, freak me out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do like a crab walk
She was
backwards
adapting.
at that point, like
Yeah,
yeah.
true. She was adapting. I think she was just adapting probably to the culture and like, you
All
know.
right, you gotta wrap it up. So go see Megan. Still in theaters. It's probably gonna
Yeah.
be out soon. I think you can watch it both right now. You can watch it at home or in theaters. We'll go see Megan. Go back to the movies.
Go
Back to the
back to the
podcast.
movies.
Like and
Yeah, and
subscribe.
come back to the
Share.
podcast.
All right.
And
Gotta
let
go.
us know if you're gonna let James Gunn cook, or what was the other one?
Fire Jim's gonna let Jim's gun cook. Let us
Yeah,
know
comment below.
let us know what your screen time is for your kids, all right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm very curious.
All
As
right.
long as they're watching this show, they can have plenty of screen time.
Yep.
All right. Adios.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
Josh.